Yeah, we're ready.
Welcome to the show. On today's show, we have the great Grant Dawson, UFC superstar. What's up, Grant?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm so excited for this interview.
Me and Grant got acquainted through UFC Unfiltered, my other podcast, Strictly MMA. Not Strictly MMA, because we talk about, what guys are into, what hobbies they're into. Once I started talking to Grant about what he likes, I knew he'd be perfect for the show. And he knew it too. He hit me up. He goes, I want in. So I'm so happy you're on, bro. And we chose today, we were talking about, there's tons of things we could talk about. We'll talk about a few different things, but mainly we're gonna be getting into the Alien movies. Okay? And I just watched the latest one. What's it called again?
Romulus.
And we're gonna get into all that. I fucking enjoyed it, by the way. That's a little
I told you would.
Dude,
I told you would.
Enjoyed it. 10-1 in the UFC, by the way. Right? Your last one, let me tell you. What sub was it again?
It was a TKO.
It was a fucking TKO. That's right. When he got knocked down. You know what? I'm so used to you fucking mauling people on the mat. I'm a jiu-jitsu man. I fucking love it. And really quick, we're going to get into the movies in a second, but you started with wrestling, no?
Yeah. So I wrestled in high school, but mainly my junior year in high school, I started doing MMA. So I actually started fighting MMA. So I did wrestling with the idea that I wanted to be an MMA fighter.
You remember watching your first UFC fight or no?
Absolutely, 100%.
What do you remember the fight? Do you remember the event?
Yeah.
Were you with your dad?
Yeah.
Your family?
It was Rampage Jackson versus Rashad Evans. Oh, wow. That was the fight, and it was actually they were the main event, but me and my buddy were just kind of horsing around, so I didn't really watch the whole card. And then his dad was so into the main event, I had no choice but to come in there and watch the main event and really pay attention to it. And at the end of it, I was like, dude, this is what I want to do with my life.
Right
I'm
there.
Not super gifted, not super talented, but I could do this.
Shit, yeah. How old were you when you seen that?
Man, I was old enough to drive, so I was 16, I think. 15, 16. I think I was 16 when I saw that.
That's the time I was fighting, because I fought on the same card as Rampage and Rashad. When I won the title, it was when Rashad fought, oh no, that was Matt Hughes. And he fought Lyoto Machida. Yeah. Anyway, that's fucking awesome, man. And look at you now, dude, a fucking tear. Did you know early on that, how did your first MMA fight go?
Yeah, so my first MMA fight, I fought a dude. I weighed in at 155. My opponent weighed in at 185. Crazy times, because we got switched up as we went. He absolutely beat the crap out of me for the first round, and I ended up catching him in a triangle choke in the second round and winning the fight. So
I love jiu-jitsu.
After that, here's the biggest thing too, is I was getting the crap beat out of me and I was still having fun. So that's how I knew I really, really wanted to do this. And then when you win, you're just on cloud nine. It was absolutely amazing. And I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't just want to do this. I want to be a world champion. And that has been the goal since day one. And I'm still it's literally the only thing that keeps my attention. It's the only thing that keeps me up at night. I absolutely love the sport.
Dude, we're doing fantastic. And let me just add and you won over a lot of women fans, because what wives like is when guys are into their wives. So I was watching the fights with my wife. So after the fight, now listen, there's good post-fight speeches and there's lemons. This was a gem. This was out of the park. Because listen, she shouts out his lovely wife, and he's like, she's always there for me. And it seems like your typical, my support, my best friend type of speech. And then he goes, and she also has a dump truck that you could bounce a quarter off of. And then they zoom to his wife. And my wife loved it, because I'm into my wife the same way. So props, bro. Did you have that planned out, or were you just in the moment?
Yeah, so I've got a bunch of different speeches that I like to go through, and everything that I say depends on how the fights goes. If I had won a split decision that a lot of people thought I lost, I probably wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I have things out. I think the biggest thing is people are just, I think MMA fans are tired and sick of the repetitive BS. I'm the bad guy. I hate this guy. I want this guy because he sucks. I think people are sick of it. When Connor was doing it, and when the great Chael P. Sonnen was doing it, it seemed more genuine. It seemed less
forced,
watered down, I guess. Yeah, forced is a great way. I would buy a car from Ben Askren because he means what he says. I wouldn't buy a car from Colby Covington because you can tell he's full of shit.
Oh, we can talk about that piece. I put him up there with the Acolyte. Colby Covington. I think they're both.
I'm in, man.
They are both
I'm in.
pieces of shit. But I'm looking now as a fighter, and we're both into a lot of the same things. I see behind you. What is that? We got Darth Vader. Is that Middle Earth? What am I looking at?
So this is the Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Nice.
It's the map. I don't know if you've seen that show. It's a show I grew up on. Then we got Darth Vader. I don't know if you can see over here. We got the Avengers.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
then this is a picture my sister painted of my wife.
Oh shoot! Oh wow, your wife fights also.
Yeah. She's a professional fighter. She's a professional fighter. She's signed to Invicta. She's an absolute stud.
Did you meet her through training or no?
Kind of. So we met at a fight, an Invicta fight, and we didn't really talk to each other. Just hi, how are you? And she ended up adding me on Snapchat because my Snapchat was a part of my Instagram. So she went onto my Instagram, added me on Snapchat, and I hit her with one of the coldest pickup lines you'll ever hear a man say. I said, "When's your next fight?" And here we are 7 years later.
Look at that. Look at that. Hit the applause. It'll come out in the edit.
Let's go.
Yes,
It'll be in the
it's
edit.
coming out in the edit. All right. That's awesome, Grant. Hey, growing up on the movies that we grew up on, I know you're a huge Star Wars fan. I don't know about Indiana Jones. You like Indiana Jones?
Love Indiana Jones.
Fuck yeah.
Well, I should say I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. I didn't like Temple of Doom, and I really, really like
Last Crusade.
what's the third one with Sean Connery in
Yes.
it?
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. Thank you. Last Crusade.
I-
Honestly, Last Crusade is my favorite one. I know everybody loves Raiders, but I'm a big Sean Connery fan, so I love the third one.
I don't know how much Temple of Doom would hold up with me now, but like when I watched it as a kid, it was age appropriate, man, because I must have been around 12 or something. So it was just like, I even like Short Round. Now looking back, it seems a little pedo. What are you doing here, Dr. Jones? Hey, Dr. Jones, why is he traveling with this small boy? Where is his parents?
Yeah, I mean, different time, right?
All right, let's not attack him. I love Indiana Jones. There's nothing weird there.
Let's not attack.
There's nothing.
Wait, I'll tell you what though. The second one may not have been great, but it was way better than the one with aliens. So the fourth one. I cut things off. So like with like Star Wars, anything past 4, 5, and 6, and the Mandalorian, anything past that,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, this isn't for me.
You know?
This isn't my Star Wars. You guys enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy my childhood Star Wars.
I 100% agree. It's especially what Ryan Johnson did. I'm gonna get that Robbie Fox back in here and throw him in a strangle because he loves that. No, I'm not gonna do that to him. But he loves The Last Jedi, and I did not get to the bottom of it. But I feel like they shit on everything we love, and I did not. I actually liked I didn't like what they did with Han even. But I liked seeing Han Solo back in The Force Awakens. I didn't hate The Force Awakens. I thought it had potential for the next movie, but it led up to maybe something special. Or it did. I had some feels from it when she got the lightsaber, went into her hand, and the music came on, and there was certain things I really liked in that movie. And then it just went down. Then it was just awful. But the other two, I can't. The last one seemed like a fan film, and Ryan Johnson just ugh. I always say he should have made Looper too. It was horrible. But
real quick on that, I feel like with the Force Awakens, there was a scene in it where she's saying there's a ship over there that's a piece of junk, and then we switch over to it and it's the Millennium Falcon. They had stuff like that was really great, and I think we could have gotten over a lot of it, but then they completely messed up with The Last Jedi. It was an absolutely terrible movie. It wasn't a terrible Star Wars movie. It was a terrible movie in general. Yeah. And then Palpatine being back, the big bad guy is just the big bad guy. It's always been. I felt like they could have done more, man. Bring Darth Plagueis in. I don't know. I think they could have done more.
My producer's over here. You say Darth Plagueis, he just had a nerd gas.
Well, they had the Plagueis. They completely ruined. They brought him up in the Acolyte, and he's just peeking around the corner like a weirdo.
Yeah. Well, that's what they tried to do. Is they knew that the show wasn't going to be great.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of let's say checking the boxes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so at the end, they're like, we have to throw something in here that's going to get people to want a season 2. boom, and it didn't work, man. Star Wars fans are seeing around it. I think we're all tired of it.
Your favorite, and we'll get deeper in another episode, but your favorite Star Wars film out of all of them, your favorite one?
Film?
Yeah, the film.
I mean, it has to be Revenge of the Sith, right? Episode 3.
Interesting.
Wow. It has everything that you love about Star Wars. That movie has. It's got great lightsaber battle. It's got awesome. I mean, the CGI is great for the time. But you know what I mean? Like everything that you like about Star Wars, that has it. Great battles. Order 66. The Clone Troopers are my Star Wars. I love Clone Troopers. I'm not a big fan of Stormtroopers. Yeah, I just everything about Star Wars is Episode 3, so that's my favorite.
Generations, man.
What's that?
I said you can say different generations.
Definitely different generations. I thought it was going to be Empire. Is a lot of guys. My favorite. Again, it might be age. A lot of it's got to do with when you've seen it. I feel like and that's one of them. One of them with the Revenge of the Sith. And again, when you're watching the first two, you're like of the prequels, you're loving Anakin. Then you're seeing he goes from somebody who's kind of turning dark. I mean, the part with the kids. I mean, I know I'm a dad, and I'm not trying to be soft. I used to fight in the cage too. I mean, come on, man. Mr. wait, what did he say? What do they call him again?
Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we going to do?
Oh, I know what you're going to do, little Timmy. You're going to fucking die. Dude, also the
You don't got to worry about them because you got to worry about me.
Right? What a prick. I mean, I don't know. That to me was just like, I get it, but I don't know. I don't know.
Here's something I tell people, and I've had discussions with a lot of Star Wars fans about this, and not always, but a lot of the times I can get them to kind of agree with me. If you take the first 6 films and you take nostalgia out of it, like don't talk about nostalgia. I will give it to you with nostalgia. Take nostalgia out of it. The first 3 are better than 4, 5, and 6. Everything you love about 4, 5, and 6, the first 3 does better. Better lightsaber fights, sleeker ships, more technology. You got big clone battles. Everything you love about the original 3, the prequels does better if you take nostalgia out of it.
Interesting. Well, that could be. But one thing, and it is true watching it as a kid, but even back watching it, the Stormtroopers, they can't shoot for shit, but they look kind of scary. Those other little fucking beep bop doop. Wait a minute, you're not the big whatever the fuck. I feel like a strong wind could blow them over. Roger. Roger. What the fuck?
Well, they win through numbers, man. They're ants. They're ants, not buffalo. They win through numbers.
That's true. They would knock them down like Legos, like they would just be falling down. But I do like those spinning ones, those destroyers. What do you call those things?
The droidicas.
Those things are fucking cool, and I can't argue with even though the Jedi, the last of the Jedi, the Return of the Jedi, the lightsaber scene on that was pretty cool. I like the Empire one, but I do think the Darth Maul versus fucking Qui-Gon. I always message Qui-Gon Jinn, and I love that. I like right before after he kills fucking William Nielsen. I always fucking after he kills him, and then you seen. This was so cool because I relate a lot of stuff to fighting. You seen Obi-Wan, like you seen him almost just the rage, and then you see him calm himself, and then like right before a round's about to start, like he sees the force field's about to go down. He's like hopping in place a little bit. How fucking cool was that? No.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm saying is that I absolutely love it. And the double-bladed lightsaber. Yeah. We'd never seen that before. That was amazing. Different colored lightsabers, all kinds of really cool stuff. I really like the movie. I understand where people say like, Jar Jar Binks is super annoying. I'm in. Jar Jar Binks, annoying. But there's things in the original that are annoying as well, like the Ewoks, like the fact that rocks and spears can hurt stormtroopers with full body armor on. So if you're gonna nitpick the prequels, you have to nitpick the originals, and that's where I kind of get people where they're like, Yeah, if I had to watch it back for lightsaber fights and force powers and sleekness of technology, I would watch the prequels.
The another thing that we're in agreement in me and Grant is we like the Solo movie, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't think it was
I love
bad.
the Solo movie.
How'd you
Yeah.
think? You like Solo, Christian?
I like the second half. The first,
I like
I thought it could have been.
part of it. I liked actually the first. I liked the part with Woody Harrison in the crew. I like
Yeah,
Woody Harrison.
I just
I
thought-
liked
Yeah.
at the ending. Sorry, really quick, ADD. I like at the ending when he has him shoot first. Fuck yeah, Ron Howard. I like that shit. I don't know if Ron Howard had anything to do with it. He directed it.
I just thought that movie, like the thing, they could have made that not a solo movie. It could have been a good standalone, just like another bounty hunter. I like that kid a lot, Alden Ehrenreich. He's
Yeah.
a good actor, but he just didn't capture the essence of what Solo was. I hate the thing when people go like, "Oh, he eventually grew into what Solo was." You know as well. Matt Serra was always Matt Serra, even when he wasn't doing jiu-jitsu. He was still the same guy. Just after jiu-jitsu, he brought out different things in him.
Yeah.
I
Good
will.
point.
I will say though, like if you look at a young Michael Bisping compared to Michael Bisping is now, I hated Michael Bisping when I
Sure.
was younger,
You're funny.
and I love Michael Bisping now. You know,
Yeah.
you mature, you grow up a bit, and you can still see old Michael Bisping
Right.
in
That's what I mean.
today's Michael Bisping. However, I think he's a little more, he's a little more mature and calmer and not spitting on corners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit, man. He's a wild man. I
Oh,
feel
he's
that
a
way
nut.
about Rashad Evans. Rashad Evans is like Zen-like now. He used to be a little
Yeah.
arrogant back in the day, and now I love him now. He's a great
Yeah.
guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I got to meet him. I got to meet him when I fought Demir, and that was the first time I met him, and he was so cool.
So
He was a
cool,
really
man.
cool guy.
Yeah. These movies, I feel, all these type of movies we're talking about, they help shape us. You know, I feel bad for this generation, man. They need some people to look up to, some fucking heroes. Not to get too nerdy on you, but all these people we're talking about, it was like heroic shit they did, like in the movies, and it made you like they had to overcome fears and they had to deal with losses, whether it's the Rocky movies or like Indiana Jones dealing with the fuck he's dealing with, getting out of things with his whip. But Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, give me a superstar lately for someone to look up to who's not a chick or anybody in the acolyte. Who the fuck you looking up to in that? Who's getting some action figures of the fucking a whore?
Yeah, the shit rat, the little thing running
A
around.
little
with
shit rat running around. I don't know.
I feel like the issue is when they make heroes now, it's so focused on them being perfect. And I think the thing that made us attracted to these superheroes when I was a kid was I could see that these guys have problems just like me. And if they can work through their problems, I can work through my problems. And I feel like the issue is now is especially these female superheroes. Like if you want to make heroes for women, young women to look up to, I love that. But you can't make them perfect because nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And if they're seeing this, all they're seeing is this person's perfect. She doesn't have to work through her problems because she doesn't have any problems.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that's where it was heading. And that's why I'm much less attracted to superheroes and I should say like the main character, the hero of the story. I'm less attracted to them now because it's like I just can't connect with them. They don't really have any problems that they have to overcome. They're just perfect and they know what to do.
And also, and now we're segueing right into these alien movies because let's talk about like a strong female lead back when it wasn't popular. I mean, when did this come out? The first Alien?
79.
79. I watched that again. I haven't seen it in a while. And I love when we do these shows. I do these shows, Grant, because I do some homework. You know, with Frank Mir, I just reviewed the John Wick movies. Frankie Edgar, we did the Van Damme movies. So I like rewatching, especially classics. So when I watched the Alien movie again the other night, shit did I enjoy it. Man, it held up. Some of the special effects when Dallas is going through level to level and they're like, oh, and first of all, it's a horror movie in space. It is a horror movie. It's creepy. You got, where is the fucking alien? I love, this might be the first time they ever used any of those trackers. And they used it in the second one and probably all of them. But where is it? It's getting closer to you. Dallas, get away. I don't know who that other female on the ship was, but she reminds me of Shelley Duvall a lot. But you know what I mean? She reminds me of Shelley Duvall. She's like all, like just skinny and like fucking always smoking. First of all, everybody's smoking cigarettes everywhere. Fucking in the 70s, and on the fucking in the fucking lunar capsule everywhere, they're fucking smoking cigarettes. Unless they're in fucking fucking what is it? Freeze? What is it called? Cryo freeze.
Yeah.
They're fucking. I got a cigarette in their mouth, and they look cool doing it. So I like when she's telling him, no, you're going the wrong way. And he's looking, all of a sudden he flashes the light, and it's basically an alien head. You see, like it's almost like a guy in a costume, like, boogity, boogity. It's guy, he puts his arms out like, I gotcha. So, but it is still fucking great. Like, besides some of the special effects, and when it burst out of the belly, the alien, it looked exactly like the alien from Spaceballs. I'm just letting you know. So kind of, I'm like, oh, I've seen him before. But, man, from when they found when they went to the planet, I'm forgetting the name of the planet, but they got that distress call, which was really a warning signal, and they see that dead, huge like alien person. I mean, first of all, that alone for that back then, that's wild. It looked cool. It still looked cool. And when they're checking it out, and then when it gets onto his face, they bring him in. I'm going to shut up for now because there's so much to talk about. But go ahead. What did you think of that first Alien?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely holds up today. I've also rewatched them recently, not for this interview, just because I'm a fucking nerd. Yeah. But I've rewatched these movies a bunch, and I still think they hold up. I liked the first three. I know a lot of people didn't like the third one. I can understand why people didn't like it. I enjoy it, so that's good. The first one especially is, and one thing that I really like about the first movie is you don't know who the hero is. Right? Like you kind of, it's not something that dials in on Ripley and it's like, hey, this is your protagonist, root for her. It's like, this is your crew. And you don't know who's going to die, who's going to, make it. And you really, it's not well known who's going to get through this, who's going to survive. And I really liked that. And, obviously we can't see that through the rest of the movies because now we know who Ripley is and blah, blah, blah. But I really liked that part about the movie of it. And fun little fact, when they were writing the movie, they just wrote Ripley down. They didn't make her male or female. And it was actually, I believe, don't quote me on this, Ridley Scott's idea at the last minute to make her a female. And it just fit right in there. It was just perfect because they weren't worried about, a gender role or anything like this. We just want to make a good story with a good character. And it fits that it could be either a man or a woman. Those are really, really good stories.
That is wild. I love hearing these little fucking nuggets. A great point about not knowing who the hero is. Tom Skerritt. Tom fucking Skerritt. He's Dallas. He's the guy with the beard.
Okay.
He was back then. He was even more popular, I'm sure. But
Top Gun, man.
Top Gun. Tom Skerritt. Yeah. I know from Ted. From the guy who was always bringing up how he's friends with Tom Skerritt. He had a picture of him the day. I love those Ted movies. But
Ted movies are
Tom
awesome.
Skerritt was Dallas. He was the leader of the astronauts there. It was his mission. So he was calling the shots. You see him alone in the thing. Go look it up in the computer. How do I kill an alien? Fucking, he's Googling it. Hey, how do I kill an alien? So you're thinking, hey man, and he's going through he's going through the floors. When he gets taken out, you're like, oh, I thought that guy was going to be around. Yeah. So when they start getting picked off, it's wild. I like in the very beginning with Ripley when they got attached to the face. Tom Skerritt and the other chick, they're bringing him in, and they're like, "Yo, open it up." She's like, "This is against protocol. I'm not letting you in. I can't let you in. This is, that better than me. If I'm not, you could affect everybody." She was fucking right. First of all, obviously, hindsight's 20/20. I know.
You know what's really cool about that scene, really quick too, is if you're watching and you don't know the story, you would think that she was like a bad guy. Like she's like in movie world, it's screw the rules. We save who we can. And you'd think like, there's no way this is the main character. She's kind of a dick. Yeah. And then it's like, oh no, she was right. Like, hey, we should have followed protocol on that one.
And that android, I love the way they did it. It was very well written because the android's the one who let him in. The artificial human, they like to call themselves.
Yeah.
I don't upset anybody, but the
flanker.
Yes, so that prick, this company, what a bunch of pricks. Because you think like, well, let's get done with this movie before we talk about Burke in the second one. But they wanted that alien back there by any means necessary. So I like how that alien and super strong, how they start to, when he's trying to kill Ripley by rolling up a magazine and stuffing it in her throat was fucking crazy. And then when the big dude tries to jump in there and he's starting to just grab his heart, it's like fucking something out of Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was crazy. It showed how powerful he was. You know?
And I think the message there is I feel like he could have killed her in such a easy, break her neck, put her in a rear naked choke, crush her skull, stuff. But no, I'm gonna take a magazine, I'm gonna suffocate you to death by shoving this down your throat. Like, there's a little human in these robots,
right? He was a sick fucking android.
Yeah.
But so that whole movie, suspenseful, and it just shows how, man, even the scenes. You know what I like about it too? It wasn't that fucking like gory. I don't like gore for just gore's sake. Yeah. Like when you watch just disgusting shit. Like it didn't have to, even though they'll show the mouth come out and fucking get somebody, but it kind of always goes away. You didn't even see that girl get it. You didn't even see that when he's like, move out of the way. That's the last thing he said when he was getting killed. He was just like, out of the way. He must have been going in shock. But he tried to jump the fucking thing. He just ran at it. Fucking the thing hit him with the tail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The big black guy. He looks like my brother-in-law, Edwin. But, man. So that was wild, man. They didn't even show the girl get it. And then, Ripley's trying to get the fuck out of there. I really enjoy. She's taking her chance in that shuttle, which that the girl wanted to do right away. So that's wild, man. The way that ended, I thought was great, and it was suspenseful, man. It was cool. I loved the first one.
Yeah, and to go to your point about like the not showing, it's like horror for the most part is not knowing, right? You fill in the blanks yourself. A lot of these great horror movies, especially back in the day, you didn't get to see a whole lot. You would see the dead bodies and you got to put together what actually happened. When you're outside late at night, you aren't scared of the things you can see. You're scared of the things you can't see because you aren't quite sure what it is, and your brain starts filling in for you. So that's kind of weird. And I'm with you, man. We actually just watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre the other day. Dakota, my friend who was fighting, put it on just because he wanted to watch it. And it was just super gory. It wasn't like scary. It was just like, how much can I gross you out? And I don't like those types of movies either. I like, sci-fi and action. And then if there's a little bit of scary in there, that's fine. But it's just like, just to be gory, I'm just not into it.
You know what I just put on? I'm watching it still now. I'm halfway through it just to rewatch it. Is Escape from New York. You ever see that?
Yeah. Carpenter?
I've never seen that one.
Oh, Grant. Yeah,
John Carpenter, man.
John Carpenter. It's old school, man. Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken. It's called Escape from New York. Do not see Escape from L.A. See it many years later. It's fucking garbage. But Escape from New York, man, that's a fucking... That holds up. I mean, it's futuristic, but when did that supposed to take place? We passed it now.
Yeah,
right?
we passed it because it came out in like 1980.
Yeah, it came out like 1980, and the future was like probably past where we are now.
They were supposed to do a remake of that like 8 different times, and at one point when Gerard Butler was hot, they were going to put him in it.
Man, it's a great movie, man. I definitely watch that and get back to me.
Yeah,
but
I'll check it out.
Yeah, man. You ever see The Thing? That horror movie?
I saw it a long time ago. I kind of remember what happened in it, but I couldn't have a conversation about it.
Kurt Russell and John Carpenter made some fucking gems.
Yeah. You're a big Kurt Russell guy.
I like Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, I can't think of a bad. What was he in that's bad? Name a bad Kurt Russell movie lately.
No, you could probably.
What, Overboard? I like that.
Overboard was great.
Come on, man. Kurt Russell. Yeah, man, I'm a fan, man. I got to watch that Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
again.
great movie.
You ever see that? Throw some old school shit at you, man. I'm showing my age. See, I get Longo in here. I goof on Longo. He wants to bring up Casablanca. I go, what's next, dude? Charlie Chaplin? Cut the shit. But anyway,
I like Charlie Chaplin.
That's what Longo wants to go next. Hey, Alien. Now listen, not only one of my top sci-fi movies ever, this might be one of my favorite movies ever. And what a popcorn movie. I seen this, I must have been around 12 years old or 13, whatever it came out. When did Aliens come out?
86.
86. Yeah, so I was like 14 or 13. But it was, listen, popcorn movie. I don't think I ever had an experience like that. I probably did, but up there. It's up there as far as a movie experience. It had everything. And one of the greatest sequels ever made. One of the sequels that you could you don't say this often, is it better than the original? I'm going to say it is. I'm going to say it's fucking out of the park. What are your thoughts on Aliens?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the second best Alien movie there is, and people can argue with me on that. That's fine. If you enjoyed it, that's great for you.
Yes.
It took the horror side of the first movie and kind of turned it into an action-packed, kill as many of these things as we can. Let's get the military involved. Let's see how much damage these things could do. So it's not as like jump scary. It's not as like, leave it up to the imagination. It's more of like just a big go after movie. And I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great.
The fucking characters. This is why this movie's my favorite. Okay. It's not Ripley out of the fucking Sigourney Weaver. She's up there, man. She's great.
Yeah.
She is a great actress. And as Ripley, and again, I base it on like the first three with her too. I don't watch the later ones, but she was so great in this movie. I mean, from the second they found her in the shuttle that would ended the first one, from her finding out, and who played Burke? What's his name again?
Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser's the greatest sleazebag there is. Because oh man, put him up there with Colby Covington. He's a fuck. I hate that. But yeah, Paul Reiser plays Burke, who works for the company. They find Ripley. They let her know that she was sleeping. No, you didn't. Nobody told you were sleeping for 57 years, which is fucking wild. And I like even in the beginning, even though an action movie than a horror movie, it's still fucking spooky. All of a sudden you see she's getting chest pains, and all of a sudden, what the fuck? What, Ripley? They got? Oh, it's a dream. You know what I mean? These things, the things ripping out of her chest. But man, did I love this movie. When I'm talking about the characters, a strong female lead. Not the only one, not the only strong female in there. Vasquez is one of my favorite fucking characters. She's a bad bitch. Vasquez was awesome.
Yeah, no, she was great. She was, and the banter that the Marines had with each other when he asked Vasquez, "Have you ever been mistaken for a man?" And she goes, "No, have you?" And that was like, this is like stuff that I could see actual real Marines saying to each other. Like, that's what made it so much fun. And it's a little cheesy, but it's fun, and it's got you fall in love with these characters, which is what movies are supposed to be about.
Yes.
You're supposed to hate the bad guy. You're supposed to love the good guy and be sad when they die and cheer when the bad guys lose. The only gripe I have with Aliens is I'm blanking on his name. The bad guy, the one you were just talking about.
Paul Reiser, the Burke.
Right, Burke. He does all this bad stuff. He almost gets Ripley and
Hicks
and Newt killed and impregnated with these things. They beat this, and then we don't get to see him die. It's off screen. He opens up the door. There's an alien there. We know he dies, but we don't get to physically. We see everybody else die. We see all the guys we like die. But the one guy I wanted to see get his skull just destroyed by this tongue thing, I don't get to see.
You know, you got it though, because when that thing opened up, when he locked it, being a coward, he died the way he lived, a coward. When he locked himself in, when they were barricaded in, and they locked everybody else out, he only cares about himself. When that other door opens. And it was a close up of the alien's face. When you seen it, it like we talked about earlier. I feel it's almost better because he's like, you see him. The last thing he did was do like a gulp, like a, and then fucking A. You know we got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's not a flesh wound.
We got it, but I wanted to see a child and a woman killed so that he could bring money back. Get this guy out of here, man.
I like right before that. They're just about the Marines, Hicks and Hudson. They're about to just off them. Like, all right, it's done for Hudson at first, and then Hicks is like, you know what? That's it, buddy. And then right before the lights go out and the aliens cut the power, She's like, no, he's got to come back.
What I like about it is you would do the same thing. If me and you were stuck in this situation and we had a guy that we can't trust, I don't want to have to look at, like, we're wasting this dude. We got real people to worry about. Let's waste this dude and move on.
That's what I'm talking about. And the last thing she says is, before the lights go out is, no, he has to go back. So you see her character of still, even though he's a scumbag, he's got to go face justice the right way. And the Marines are just like, yo, let's off this dude. But when I say the characters, a lot of times in these movies, and I want to bring this up with the last one too, and I enjoyed the one we're talking about. I always fucking
Romulus.
Romulus. It's fun to say
so
too.
Good.
Romulus. I loved it. But these characters. Now let's talk about the Marines. Dude, I saw this movie how many years ago? Frost, Vasquez's boyfriend, Drake, fucking Alpone. He wakes up, the first thing, what a great Marine that one is. All right, first thing he does is wake up with a cigar in his mouth. All right, now, ass and elbows, whatever he's saying. He's the Marine. He's like, it's another lovely day in the Corps. Like, he's fucking, he's awesome. All right, she's awesome. So when these things start getting taken out, even Frost is in there. That's this Hicks's buddy, the black guy. He's in there for 2 seconds. I like him already. He's like, man, they wanted to collect the magazines when they first get going to the alien, where the aliens are at. They're like, yo, you're right over the nuclear reactor. You can't be shooting rounds in there.
Could blow the whole place up.
So the first thing he says, man, what are we supposed to use? Harsh language? I was like, there's little fucking lines. You like these motherfuckers. So when they start taking out, and all of a sudden you see their cameras going, oh, they got Capone. And then you see, and now you know a lot even about the corporal. Gorham. Fuck, man, I know these motherfuckers. Gorham, hey, he's on they're first going down. They're dropping in the ship going down to the planet. Yeah. Yes,
the drop pod,
and they're asking him, like, how many drops you do? 38 simulated.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like 2, including this one. So like, and he's like, oh fuck, man, he's green.
Yeah, we're screwed.
So you know all about these guys just within 15 minutes, and you're liking them.
I think one thing too, talking about Gorham too, is like, there's the scene you're talking about where he tells them, hey, no live ammunition, like collect the live ammunition. And I completely understand not having to explain yourself as a commander. I absolutely get it. My coaches don't have to explain themselves to me. If they tell me to do something, I'm going to trust them and do it. However, I feel like his inexperience showed him that, like, if he wasn't so inexperienced, he might have been like, look, guys, we're right over a reactor. If we shoot wrong, we're going to blow everything up. I think taking 2 seconds to explain that to his team would have gotten them to trust him a little bit more. So, and I get it. I think a young commander would be like, no, I don't have to explain myself. But I think a veteran commander would have been like, look, these guys don't trust me yet. They don't know what I've seen. I'm just going to take literally 2 seconds. Hey, put your mags away because you're standing over a reactor. If something goes wrong, you could blow everybody up. So, hey, let's go to fire only,
I love the characters so much that when they got it, you felt it. And I want to talk about some redemption in these characters, all right? Because, first of all, Vasquez, badass start to finish. She went out and,
and he redeemed himself too.
Gorham did. Gorham went back for Vasquez. She was stuck in the tunnel. And first of all, what about when she's the last one? And also she looks up and the alien's coming down the shaft. She pins it. She pins its head up against the fucking thing and just starts shooting. And it's fucking awesome. This is what gets my fucking chicken skin nipples hard. I love this shit. Yeah. And he went back for her. You see the alien busted in on the other end. They're out of bullets. They hold the detonator. You always were an asshole, Gorham. Yes, you guys say it.
Her last words, not, you know what, you proved yourself. No, you're an asshole, man. Let's go.
You're always an asshole, Gorham. But you know what? He redeemed himself. And what about Hudson? Hudson, who was always, wise ass, shit talker from the second you meet him. When when Gorham's trying to get to know them, what is it, Hicks? He's Hicks. I'm Hudson. And then he's like, how do I get out of this chicken shit outfit? And then even when Capone shuts him down when the guy's giving the speech. The second he gets done, Capone, Hudson, get here. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I fucking love it. So when Hudson, when the shit started going south, he was like, I can't wait to fucking get in there. And when the shit started going south, he lost his balls.
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over.
Improvised line, by the way.
What is it?
Game over was an improvised line.
Hey, man, Bill
He wasn't supposed
Paxton,
to say that.
may he rest in peace. That guy could do no wrong. And he's fucking great. Bill Paxton's a fucking great actor. And he was great. Hudson was a great character because, you know what? He manned up when it came towards the end of it. I mean, they're trying to call, you have Ripley being like, hey, you know, Hudson, she lasted out here longer than that with no training. Why do you put her in charge? He's always bitching. He's got that fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then finally, as it's going on, you know, he burst in the room too. They're killing the fucking face huggers that the Burke tried to put in there. You're starting to like him.
The kid.
Yeah, he did. You're starting to. She's like, Hudson, help me. You're liking Hudson. And then when they go in that room, now listen, this part, I remember seeing this in the theater. They're like, look, man, they're through the barricades. Then they get in there, they get in the room. They're getting close. They're fucking trying to weld that fucking door shut on both ends. Hicks up top, Vasquez down below. Hurry up. He's reading it. That's right outside the door. Next thing you know, that's inside the room. They're
in the room, man. It's not reading right. It's in the room,
then you're reading it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was so fucking great. And all of a sudden they look up. And when they look up, he's like, give me that flashlight. He looks one way, the other way. You see them crawling. It holds up, man. I saw it the other day. Then they start and that scene was phenomenal. Then when Hudson, when the shit hit the fan, he manned up. You want some too? Come on, motherfucker. And then they pull him through the floor. Which, I'm not saying they got it from here. You watched that Escape from New York with John Carpenter with that hooker in that scene when the crazies pull it through the fucking floor. Yeah. It reminded me so much.
Everybody steals from everybody too, right? Because you look at it like even when you guys are talking about like how the team and how much you cared about the team and then they're getting picked off. I mean, that's essentially Predator, right? Like you care so much about Predator, and that came out like a year later, and that was like the team that you really care about, and they were getting picked off like one by one.
I just. From start to finish, and Hicks, man, some of the best heroes are the guys that don't want to be in charge, man. I like when she's, you know, Burke's trying to call some shit, and Ripley's like, wait a minute, I believe that, you know, Sergeant Hicks, whatever he was, he's in charge now because we lost so and so and so and so, and you see him like, she's like, isn't that right? He's like, yeah, that's right. Like you see, he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't want to take the role, but he will. He'll be that fucking leader. And goddamn was Hicks awesome. I loved him as a kid. That's the kid where I mean, he was awesome. That's what I'm saying. You could have a strong female lead. And you don't got to shit on the other guys. Why not? Everybody was cool in that. Everybody I named that died, that made it. They didn't have to kill them off. Oh, well. Should we get right into the third one? Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I think that's why people immediately were turned off by the third one. Is you just spent all this time us growing to love these characters, and I don't even mind that they killed these characters, but they did it off screen. They you know, we love Newt, and you see one of the things about Sigourney Weaver's character, like one of the things that she dealt with in the second movie was she missed her daughter's life, you know. And you can really tell that was weighing on her through the movie. So then when she finds Newt and she gets to take that mother role again, and that protector role and that nurturing role. And you can really see her go from this hard ass that doesn't care about anything or anybody. And we just got to kill these things to Newt, you know, like becoming Newt's like protective character. And then when both die, it's just like all that work we did in the second movie just means nothing.
And 100%. I agree with you. And right before we get into that third one.
Third one or Romulus?
No, I just want to touch base on the third one because I want to say upset I was about Hicks and Luke dying. But Bishop. Now, I love that in the first one, the alien, the artificial human, okay, the android.
The clanker.
Yes, he was a prick and he was an evil son of a bitch. And, he was an android, but with his programming... You didn't trust any. I don't blame her. I like in that first scene when they're doing that knife trick and he got cut. She sees the white blood, and she throws. And he's offering her some cornbread, and the other models were always a little shaky, and she didn't want to fucking hear it. And who cares? Listen, she has PTSD. Who wouldn't fucking that guy? That. Listen, I don't blame her. She had a fucking Time magazine down her throat. I'd be a little suspicious also, but. Right. The way he came back, and that's another one. Love Bishop. Who doesn't love Bishop? Not bad for a human. He came through. And when she gets out, and first of all, when she went to go save Newt, and she's getting the flamethrower and the fucking, she's putting the guns together. Come on, man. Fucking A. I like when she sees the alien laying the eggs, and she takes that flamethrower, she gives it a burst, and she points it at the eggs. I'm sorry, I'm reliving everything. She's like, and all of a sudden you see the other aliens, the fucking queen alien. Look at one, it goes back into like shadows. She's telling everybody back off, and then right before she leaves, she gives a big fungu to them and sprays them, grenades them. Oh, fuck yes,
you know what the best part about that scene is? She didn't have to do that because she knew the place was coming down anyway. The place was going to explode,
I thought the same
whether
thing.
She did that or not. So she did that just to say, big middle finger.
Exactly, and fucking Asa Gordon. All right, so listen, I want to get into Romulus. I said it right. The third one, though. Again, if you watch just that movie, not a bad movie. If you haven't nothing invested. I had too much invested. I loved Hicks. I thought he was the fucking awesome action hero. Fucking just a cool dude. And to have him die off screen and Newt, I was so looking forward to the next Alien movie to see where they all went from here. They killed him off, and it just took me all out of it. So I pretend that never happened. I feel Hicks is out there having more adventures. So hey, your favorite. Tell me about the last Romulus. I watched it also. I quite enjoyed it. Tell me why you think it's the best.
I think it's the best because I feel like what they did was they put the number one and number two, so Alien and Aliens, mashed them together. Which, if you say that out loud on paper, it doesn't seem like that would work, but it absolutely worked. There wasn't one alien; there were multiple aliens. So it was. We got to kill some aliens. We got to see some really cool stuff. We got to see things that we didn't. The last act, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure we'll get to it. The last act was absolutely horrifying and absolutely amazing. Through the whole movie, it was kind of just like Aliens. And then with that last act, with the horror of that last act was just amazing. And we didn't see it coming. And then I'm big on Prometheus and Covenant. I'm big on Prometheus and Covenant, and they tied those in together as well. Just absolutely amazing. I think it's the best movie. The acting was great. They had a strong, it's like you said, they had a strong lead female character without trashing all of the male characters, without trashing everybody else. This girl made mistakes. We literally start the movie off with her finding out that she was lying to her android brother thing, which is an absolute thing that a real human being would make. I love this movie.
I agree with you as far as loving the movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. I did. I thought it was done very well. I like how it took place pretty much right after the first one. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I knew that android from the first movie that made a comeback. How'd they do that, by the way?
It's deep fake stuff.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because it's the same actor.
Well, yeah, but he passed.
Oh, he passed away.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh, they do some good shit now.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
He passed away a couple of months before the movie actually started filming.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did they know? Now, I knew that it was a bad android, but if you'd had no idea about that alien, you didn't see it, you never knew that android was bad. Did they explain that in there? Or no, you just saw that half of the fucking android.
About how they explain how he got there, is that what you said?
Did they explain anything about that?
And not necessarily anything you're supposed to know from watching.
You kind of have to know about that, no?
Well, he's not the same android.
Yeah, he's the same one from the first movie.
Yeah.
He's the same model. He's not the same android.
No, he's cut in half.
No, he's the same android.
He's the same. 100% Grant.
Yeah.
No, but he didn't get cut in half. He got his head torn off, remember?
Wait a minute.
He's not the same android. And his name is different.
This is a mind fuck for
I
me.
promise
Christian,
he's not. He's the same model. He's the same model. He's not the same android.
I thought
They just had the same model on the ship.
He was on the same
that
ship.
was the model back then. He got cut in half because the alien escaped on their ship. That's why he was destroyed. The other android from the first movie, he got his head. Remember, he was looking up, and they smacked his head and he fell backwards. He wasn't cut in half. He's got his head torn off.
This is now. Is there any way we could fact check this?
Oh, you guys keep talking.
He's going to look this up and fact check this, because that's a very. I mean, I thought it was, without saying that it was the same guy, because it's the same actor.
Well, they were all the same. They were the same model, so they all looked the same. Just like in Prometheus and Alien Covenant, all of the David models look like David.
Where was that model on the ship?
Yeah, he's right. The android in Alien Romulus is a different character from the android Ash in the original Alien film, but they share some similarities.
Wait, this guy's good.
Yeah.
He's fucking. He's good.
He's under the heat of battle. He does not miss.
Listen to me. I'll tell you right now. I'm looking at Christian. I'm about to say, listen, man. I know. I thought he knew what he was talking. You got us both stumped.
Yeah, the android.
You were right.
The android in Alien Romulus is named Rook, while the android in Alien is named Ash.
Yep.
Listen, you tapped us both out at once. You see that shit? You are fucking Jedi. Jedi. That's I like hearing shit. Listen. I don't get hurt with that. I like hearing shit like that.
We'll edit it out, make it look like you knew what you're talking about.
What?
So we'll edit it out, make it look.
No, leave that in. Leave it all in. I love getting surprised by shit like that. We find out stuff on this show. Like, did you ever, hey, here's a movie for you to watch. You ever see that gangster movie? You ever see State of Grace? Nobody's seen this movie. You know how many people are coming to me lately? I went to a jiu-jitsu competition over the weekend here in Long Island, and I had 2 people come up to me
after watching the show.
They told me that they watched the show, and I did with Ray Longo. We did our top 5 gangster movies, and on it was State of Grace with Sean Penn. Came out like 1991, and why it is so underlooked. I mean, underrated. Not a lot of people seen it. Under the radar, I should say. It came out the same opening weekend as Goodfellas, so nobody people didn't see it. You know, everybody went to go see Goodfellas. It's State of Grace. Sean Penn in the infiltrates. Help me with my words.
Infiltrate.
I know. Into the Irish mob. He left Hell's Kitchen and he went to Boston. He became a cop. He came back to go undercover. Watch that movie. People are coming up to me now, being like, "Dude, I seen it. It's fucking good." I'm giving you a list of. I got you Escape from New York to watch and
State of Grace.
And State of Grace.
Hey, you got my number, man. Just send me a list.
You got it. All right, listen. So again, we'll let it on the that Romulus. I enjoyed it. I'd like to see where they go from here. What
I've seen is it just got green lit for a sequel, like a direct sequel.
Well, that's great then.
Well, they talked about
amazing.
So he's 100% right. And I covered it this morning. They're going to do Fede Alvarez, who directed this, who did a great job. Ridley Scott is also talking about doing another Alien movie. He's doing interviews for Gladiator 2 right now, and he's talking about doing a separate one. I think they stay away from that and just let Fede Alvarez do a sequel to Romulus.
Yeah, I'm in on that too. There's also a TV show coming out.
That's right.
I don't think it's what's the word?
Connected?
Like they're all connected, but it's not
canon.
In this, canon. It's canon. I think it's canon. It? I just think it's not connected to the Romulus movies. I think it's like super in the future. Is what I've heard. Okay. They haven't even started filming, so this could all change. You know, I could totally be wrong, but I've heard that it's like super in the future. You know, totally nothing to do with any of these guys. It's its brand new own story.
I didn't see the last one. Are you watching The Penguin by any chance?
I'm not watching The Penguin.
So
I've heard good things. It's just not my favorite my favorite villain. Yeah. So I just wasn't turned on by that idea. If it was a show about like Scarecrow or something like that, I would have been way more intrigued to watch it. But Penguin is just not something I enjoy.
Can I tell you, there's no quack, 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 quack. There's none of that shit. He doesn't have an umbrella. I'm telling you, Colin Farrell, it really reminds me of Tony Soprano, that type of character.
Yeah.
You kind of hate him but love him at the same time. It's like a gangster film show in Gotham City. It's fucking great. Yeah. And the girl, it's good, man.
There was another show called Gotham, and the first it's about Commissioner Gordon and a young Bruce Wayne. And the first like 2 or 3 seasons, it's not like a superhero. It's like about bringing down the crime in Gotham, and it's like a lot of crime lords. And the Penguin is their version of the Penguin is actually in it, and I really liked him. I can't remember the actor's name that plays him, but he's this total dweeb that plays a really good Penguin, and I like that. And then it started getting like a little too crazy for me, but the first 2 seasons were just like really good show, kind of like what you're talking about, where it's like gang lords and stuff like that, but you see it from the cops' perspective. Gordon's.
It's so funny how we fall off sometimes after that first season, because I loved the first season of Titans, and then that thing just fell to shit too. I feel Titans is it's on at Max. It's about the Teen Titans, but that first season. Did you like the first season of Titans?
No, remember you kept busting my balls. I never watched it.
Oh well, shame.
Well, yeah, but you said the second season sucks, so I want to watch it.
I hear you, but the first season was fun though. It was.
Well, the original Teen Titans, the cartoon, if you guys have ever seen that, that was gold.
Yeah,
from start to finish, that was gold.
I saw it with my kids. I saw the movie and it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch the show. The show is a lot better. It's got Ron Perlman plays the villain. It's anything Ron Perlman's in, I'm in on. So that's good, and it ties into Alien because Ron Perlman's in the Alien movie that's after Alien 3.
Oh, that's right. He is.
That movie was horrible, but I like Ron Perlman in it.
Yeah, man. Well, the ones we talked about today were great. I recommend them, especially two. Grant Dawson recommends Romulus. He loves that. It's the best.
My favorite one. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Is it at least a contender for the best one?
You know what? That to me, listen, movies, they're very they're special to people for different reasons. It's like some people love baseball. Don't put me to bring me to a baseball game, put me to sleep. I'm not doing it. So like I don't shit on it though. If people love it, I like their enthusiasm for it. So your reasons for loving that one or liking that one the best, I would never shit on. I think the second one, for all the reasons I stated, these characters I remember from fucking over 20 years ago, whenever this movie came out, it's one of my favorite movies. I just think it's like it's almost a flawless movie. It's about as flawless. It's about as perfect a movie as you get. Granted, you watch some of the spaceship stuff. The CGI is not the best now, but
for the time,
but you can't fault them for the CGI.
Yeah,
you can't fault them for stuff that they didn't have back then.
Hey, that's why I go back to that first one, the Alien, where it looks sometimes like a guy in a fucking costume, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter because you feel that these people are really afraid. And again, that second one, man, the characters love. I just named like 5 Marines. Half them died in like 20 minutes. I love that whole fucking thing. You know,
I don't disagree with you. Like, it's definitely my second favorite, and maybe I have recency bias. Maybe it's Alien was kind of dead in the water. I really liked the Prometheus and the Covenant movies, but it just didn't take off. There was supposed to be a third movie to explain how the ship got where it got on the planet in the first Aliens movie. It was supposed to be a third one that explained how it got there, and apparently what are they called? The big blue guys, I'm blanking on their names. They come after David, and that's how that ship crashed there and why we see that dead body. I would have loved that, and it just didn't take off. So seeing a really, really good new Alien movie might be what got me. But the third act, which we didn't even talk about, the third act was just so amazing. I loved that fight. I was calming down. I'm getting ready to go to the bathroom because I think the movie's almost over. My popcorn's gone. And all of a sudden, boom, they hit you with this pregnant girl gives birth to what I can only imagine would be Satan if we had to see Satan. Because, oh my goodness, that was just a crazy scene.
And did it kill? It went over to her. I thought it was going to go get some breast milk or something. And what did it just...
it got some... I think it drank out of her completely. Yeah. I think she's dead.
Man, what a prick of a son that was.
Yeah, right?
That was freaky looking too, huh?
Menendez, brother.
It was terrifying. It was terrifying.
It was terrifying, man. And those Alien movies, it kind of did with the second one too. Once you think it's done, all of a sudden the queen on the ship. You know what I mean? And fucking I love it, man. Hey, Grant, dude, listen, dude, I can't thank you enough. This was a lot of fun, man. This was a lot of fun. I mean, we could easily do another hour easily. You know?
For sure.
We gotta go ahead.
I think we should get on here again and we should talk about the Predator movies next if you're down for that.
Sold, bro. So I'm sold because I fucking love those movies. I was just sitting here the other day. I got the Predator shirt with
They're doing another Alien vs Predator movie. They're doing another
Well,
one.
I didn't love those movies.
But they're doing a better one.
I thought the first one was really good. The second one was terrible, but I thought the first one was really good with the pyramid, and they go down there, and they're killing each other, and there's 3 predators. I love predator lore, so I loved all of it.
And I especially can't wait to talk to you about the first Predator and the second one. Because Danny Glover wasn't too old for that shit, I'll tell you right now.
Nope.
Yeah. The second one's crazy.
I enjoyed the second one a lot. We're gonna save that for a future episode. Grant, anything you want to plug, buddy?
Man, I thank you so much for having me on, man. I love talking about all of this stuff, and I feel like I don't get to let my inner nerd out as much as I want to because, I'm in a very manly sport where guys might not enjoy the things that I enjoy. So anytime I could come onto a podcast and just talk about all of this nerdy crap and we talked about one thing today, and there's so much more that I enjoy. So anytime you want me on, the answer is yes.
And whenever you're in New York, whenever for the UFC, whatever, dude, let me know ahead of time. We'll get you in studio. It'll be even more fun.
Perfect.
All right, Grant.
Maybe I can come get some training in too.
Oh, dude, 100%, anytime, bro. All right,
Awesome.
The great Grant Dawson, man. Thanks a lot, brother. I'll talk to you really soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Take care,
Thanks,
brother.
man.
Bye.
Dude, so much fun.
He's great.
Yeah, I mean, dude, knowledge,
Yeah, he knows
dude.
a lot of
I
stuff.
love being wrong.
Yeah.
I was about to say, dude, I hate to tell you, that's the same fucking thing.
I thought it was too. And I've seen the movie twice.
Dude, he knows his shit.
Yeah, he does.
And dude, hell of a fighter.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw the
future
last
champ.
fight was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I have a treat for our fans. I have a treat. It's
What
not
is
my singing. I like to sing though.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me?
I can't wait to see you do karaoke. Should have done that.
Christian, I just Kimura a man. I put his arm behind his back. I held it there until it snapped. I'm never gonna do that again. All right, everybody.
That's what that was the gift? Was the song?
Christian, do you know that we? No, that's not the gift. Oh, I got ADD. I was about to sign
I was
off.
gonna say.
Sorry about that,
was
guys.
the
I
gift.
won't
Was the
sing in a
fucking
future
bullshit
episode.
song?
What we have, well, that wasn't a shit song. I like to sing to like Queen music, but put jujitsu lyrics. What we have, but what the gift is, that's a gift. That's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
But in studio, next episode, myself and the great Dean Thomas. Put the applause in. Put the applause.
I'm doing. I'll add to it also.
Dean Thomas is he might be my BFFFFF. I love that guy. If you want to get ready for that show, go on YouTube, watch Dana White looking for a fight. Myself, Dean Thomas, Dana White. We look for upcoming talent in the UFC. I should have been plugging this thing earlier. It gets millions of views. It's a nice, popular
Great show.
So yeah, we travel around the states, even around the world, and we look for upcoming talent, and we get into some hijinks. So the great Dean Thomas will be on the next episode, and I believe we're doing our favorite top 3 Denzel movies. Denzel
that.
Washington.
That's gonna be tough to
I
produce.
can't wait.
It's gonna be tough.
Dude, it's gonna be a blast.
That's gonna be good.
All right, everybody, stay humble yet dangerous.
Find your superpower. Shirts coming soon. Shirts coming soon.
Superpower.
Shirts coming soon.
Bye, everybody.